Hi everybody, it's Gail from Gail's Bookish Things. I thought I would finally do another process video. I have prepped this page just a little bit. This is Psalm 148, and I watercolored this last night and let it dry overnight, and thought that I would do the rest more on a sped up version 2, but I just wanted to tell you what section I was going to be doing and what I was going to be using primarily, and then I'll go back and probably do a voiceover at some point, or just do music as I speed it up. But first of all, I got these alphabet. Are they hard to see? No, it's okay. So they're like the letters that are outlined with the open inside, and I thought that would be really fun and some journaling. I've seen people have a version of this that's larger, but I think this is going to work well because it'll fit in my bigger Bibles, in my journals, and my smaller Bibles, I think, pretty nicely. So I'm looking forward to trying those out. And then I was at a place that's near me called Main Street. It's in St. Charles, Missouri. There's a historical area that's just a delightful place to walk around. It's 1700s era, I think, somewhere around in there where it was first starting to be built, or maybe the 1800s. But anyway, all the cute little places are shops now and restaurants. And my husband and I went there a couple weeks ago, and I was so happy to find a store that sold paper items and paper crafting items. So these are new to me. Powder Puff is the brand. They're all new chalking inks. And I got the berry jam and the pumpkin pie. That sounded just like fall to me. So October, November, I'm gonna we're like almost halfway through November, but I'll use them for the rest of the month, and probably even in my December daily journal, or whatever I end up deciding to do for sure for December. I think these colors with some shades of green too might work nice in journal. So I'm going to try those with this. And my plan generally kind of unfolds as I do it, so I really don't have too much of a plan. Other than that, I want to try those things. I have one of my labels from my friend Debbie. Anyway, here I did greens and blues, partly because I wanted to make kind of a subdued looking page, but what I was drawn to was, let me find it, these verses 7 through 12 especially. I'll read those to you, and then we'll go ahead and get started here in a second on the rest of the process. Praise the Lord from the earth, you great sea creatures and all ocean depths. Lightning and hail, snow and clouds, stormy winds that do his bidding. That's what I wanted to focus on, the stormy winds that do his bidding. I just think that's so majestic sounding. There's so many neat things in the Old Testament that talk of nature like personification, really. So stormy winds that do his bidding. Another one, let's see, personification, or I don't know if these all fit into that, but there's like the secret place of thunder and the sea of troubles, and yeah, I can't think of any others right now, but anyway, any verses that talk like that about the winds and the rain and the power behind the forces of nature / God are very neat to me. Anyway, the stormy winds that do his bidding, you mountains and all hills, fruit trees and all cedars, wild animals and all cattle, small creatures and flying birds, kings of the earth and all nations, you princes and all rulers on earth, young men and women, old men and children, let them praise the name of the Lord, for his name alone is exalted. His splendor is above the earth and the heavens. So I'll just stop with that. But I thought it could be fun to do little drawings to the side. So when it talks about the sea creatures and all ocean depths, to do a little octopus or something could be fun, or a fish. Little lightning bolts off to the side, and little pellets of hail maybe, or little snow flakes coming down, some clouds. I'm not sure. Like I said, it will unfold. But this is what I love in particular about this psalm. But that phrase, the stormy winds that do his bidding, I think are the words that I will put here, and I may embellish it with some other little drawings. Most likely I will do a Sharpie ink pen. These are my journaling friends. Nothing fancy. You can get 2 of them in a pack for, I don't know if it's like $3 or something. These are really a go-to journaling pen for me. And let me reach over here. There are 2 white pens, and I have seen many YouTubers comment on these. They either love the Jelly Roll or they love the Uniball Signo pen. And people feel strongly about them both. Love one and hate the other. When I was at the same store that I bought these, they had a white marker pen, kind of like this, a paint pen type thing. And I wanted to try it, and actually she had a scratch piece of paper and let me try the pen, and I wasn't super impressed with it, and since I already had several of these on hand, I didn't buy it, but it would be fun for a comparison, so maybe I'll pick that up another time, and we'll throw another one in the mix here. I have almost liked the Uniball one more, but the other day I used this, and it worked fine for me, so it might just be something you need to try for yourself and see which you prefer, if that's something you're looking for. It is pretty handy with journaling on here. So this is just basic watercolor and blues and greens to look kind of oceany or cloudy sky. I don't really have a good gray. I guess I could make gray, but anyway, I chose those colors. So here we go. Let's get started, and we'll see you in a bit. I'm back. I think I overall like how this turned out. The only thing I want to add is a tab or like a ribbony cloth something or other, because that's kind of the little theme here on the top of my illustrating Bible here. This is a Psalms and Proverbs illustrating Bible by Dayspring, by the way, if you're curious. This is not the entire Bible, just those two books from the Old Testament. Things I would do differently are these clouds. I gave them the thumbs down earlier. I think it's too dark. I kind of prefer how I did this one with my gray marker, and then just kind of very lightly outlined it with the black Sharpie. Other than that, I feel like I'm pretty pleased with the overall effect. Excuse me. I like my little octopus. I didn't give him a face because I wanted it to not seem too cartoonish, and if I gave him a face, it would do that. It's kind of weird because I'm talking about the elements, and yet here's this octopus over here. So what I was thinking, though, is the overall color is like water, like oceany, I think. Aqua-y, blue and green. This more blue and gray over here picks up on the stormy aspect, and the little white dots I added to be like snow or even hail. Sometimes I use this Sharpie that's just not Sharpie, where's the Jelly Roll pen. That's a glitter effect. So I did some of that on the wind too. Let's add a little bit more here, if you can see it, to try to create a sense of movement as well as cold temperatures. So that's kind of my thinking here. And then here I'm picking up on some other aspects of the verse. So where it talks about you great sea creatures in all ocean depths. That's what I'm sensing here in my mind anyway. These are supposed to be like bubbles in the water, and here's this octopus kind of floating around. And then it talks here about you mountains and hills, fruit trees and all cedars, wild animals and all cattle, and so on, and all cattle. Here's the mountains. So it's sort of like a collage, like how I do a lot of my, any of my journaling really tends to be, or art journaling like this, creative journaling. Maybe we won't call it art, but it is collage-y. So we have the mountains and the birds that are referred to. So here we have kind of the living elements of nature, and here we have more of the weather, but I think it all ties together with the original color I put down. I like to add these little washi tapes just for a little bit of more visual interest to the page, and I liked that this turquoisey washi with the white dots kind of pick up on the snow or hail here and the lightning. I left the lightning clear here so I could read the words. I wanted to do that especially here because this is what the whole picture, the whole illustrating is about. So that's another whole topic of conversation. People say don't cover the words. Some people say it's okay. Here it's darker. But a lot of times people use these journaling type Bibles as a palette. So they're not dishonoring the written word of God. They are embellishing it, and it's a form of worship back to the Lord to express one's self on paper based on what they've read. So that's, I think, where that comes from. And a lot of people that do like to cover the words, I'm getting on a tangent, but I do feel like it's worth explaining, oftentimes have another Bible that they use just for reading purposes. So if that's something that bothers you, that might help. Anyway, I put the washi here that says love this. It's one of my favorite washi tapes. I don't know if I put it away when I stopped. I guess I did. I don't see it now in front of me. I like these kinds that have a more clear background and then they blend into the page, and it almost looks like I stamped that. No, you can't see it. There we go. I love this. And so I guess that's it. I really like the watercolor when it kind of dries and there's that little darker line here and there. So other than the tab on the top, I think we're done. I will try to get this up later today with the help of my technical crew, i.e. my son Drew, who's almost 15. I'm not seeing anything here that's particularly turquoisey. I think that's too much green. That looks a little bit holiday-ish. This isn't ocean or weather themed, but I think the colors kind of work well with that. I kind of am drawn to that actually. Let's see what else we have though. Some of these are more Christmas, or definitely not something that would go with underwater. This one might actually be good. So it's got some green that kind of picks up on the little octopus guy. It's got a little flower here, so that might pick up on, not that it has to. I just like things in my mind to make sense. I'll probably clip that on about there, and then I'll probably add a little bit of this washi to help secure that. These are really fun to have popping out, but I have found they don't often stay real secure without a little bit of help, especially on the little short paper clips. This is a good size one for staying. What else did I want to say? I think this is, oh, I know. I wanted to show these to you because it was something new to me, this chalking ink, and I thought I would combine it with my new alphabet stamps, but this in no way, shape, or form goes with that. I'm not sure that I was totally thinking that through very well before I said that. I will get to using these, and I will try to remember to share my impressions with you on that chalk ink. I will say quickly that they mentioned these pointed edges are for going around finer areas in your crafting. I'll put that off to the side since I didn't use it. So there, that's what I have for you today. Psalm 148. It's a psalm worth reading, as they all are, but there's a lot of beautiful imagery in there. I'm just glancing here. Who can withstand his icy blast? And talks about frost and stuff. So if you are looking for some psalms to journal and you want to bring in weather elements with the colder seasons coming up, that might be good to take a look at. Okay, that's all. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.